You know that feeling when you look back at your life and you think, wow, I really thought I had it all figured out. Yeah, me too. If I could sit my younger self down and just tell her everything I know now, she'd probably just roll her eyes and ignore me. But I'll still say it anyway because life has a way of teaching us things the hard way. So today I'm going to share with you what took me over 25 years to learn in just 10 minutes. No fluff, no sugar coating, just the raw, unfiltered truths that changed my life. You see, I used to be that chubby little girl who had all the words. I was smart, I was outspoken, confident, but growing up humbled me. While growing up, I was bold. I would lead every debate, I would win every dance competition. I was really chubby, the biggest in my class, but that didn't get to my skin at all. I would show up and I would show up good. Then boarding school happened, and let's just say it wasn't my finest time at all. I have memories I choose to leave behind, right? I got bullied in school. I was body shamed. Memories. And I went from being that bubbly girl who always had something to say to the one who second guessed everything. By the time I got back home, I was no longer the same person. I wasn't sure of myself anymore. I didn't feel beautiful. I was ashamed of my body. I wanted so badly to belong, to fit in. And that's where I started seeking validation in the places I had no business looking. But let me tell you something I've learned. The world will try to shape you into what makes it comfortable. It will try to silence you, shrink you, mold you. And if you are not careful, you wake up one day and realize you've become a stranger to yourself. For me, it was clear when I lost my self esteem, and it's taken me years to actively recover it. So let me say this, no one is coming to hand you back your voice. If you don't wake up and take it back, you might just lose it forever. Now, then came another plot twist. My dad retired from 35 years of public service and we all moved to the village, right? Listen, when I tell you this was a cultural reset, I mean it. This wasn't countryside, it was proper village living with zero electricity. Like gone was the convenience of city life. Suddenly, my sisters and I were taking walks to the stream to fetch water morning and evening. We were going to the farm, we were drying cocoa seeds around the compound. We were greeting everybody, every single person on the road. Because village life is equals to community living. And if you don't greet, your parents will hear about it when you get home. At first, I disliked it. It felt like I had been dropped into a world I could not recognize. But then I had no choice but to adapt. I got used to it, and before I knew it, the discomfort became my new normal. Now, that's the thing about life. Is comfort introduces you to yourself. You don't know what you're made of until you're thrown into something unfamiliar. Most people avoid discomfort at all costs, but you know the truth. The things you're running away from might be the very things that shape you. Now, university came and went, and I graduated. I got a good job. I started a business on the side, the business I do now. I got married at 32. Then, boom, the very next year, I was laid off my job. That was the moment life looked at me dead in the eye and said, so what now? That's when I learned one of the biggest lessons of my life. No one is coming to save you. I had to figure it out. I had to turn the side hustle I was doing to the main hustle. I had to make something out of practically nothing. And you know what I realized? Most people sit around waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect sign that tells them it's fine. But clarity doesn't come before action, it comes because of action. You don't figure it out first and then you move. You move first and then you figure it out along the way. That's how it works. Now I'm going to talk about waiting. One of the hardest things I've ever had to do is learn patience. And I don't mean the kind of waiting in line patience, right? I mean the patience for prayers to manifest, waiting for a child, waiting for things to make sense, that kind of patience. And let me tell you, waiting is not just sitting around twiddling your thumbs, hoping for the best to come. True waiting is actually active. It's preparing while trusting, while moving, while believing. Most people think faith is just about hoping, but the real faith, it's working as if the thing you are waiting for is already on the way. It is, and I've learned to keep waiting, waiting actively. Now, you want to know another thing you should be prepared for: failure. Let's talk about it for a bit. I face failure differently. I act before I think about the excuses because I've realized something. Failure isn't the enemy, staying down is. I used to be so terrified of failing until I realized that failure is just feedback. It's life showing you what doesn't work so you can move closer to what actually works. Most people are afraid, so afraid of failing that they never even try. But let me ask you this, what is scarier? Failing or waking up 10 years from now and realized you never even tried? Listen, if there's anything I want you to take from this impromptu video, it is this. You don't need permission to be yourself. You don't need to belong to be valuable. Discomfort will shape you more than comfort ever will. No one is coming to save you, so start now. Faith isn't just waiting, it is working while you wait. And failure is just a stepping stone if you let it be. It took me 25 years to learn these lessons. I hope it takes you less. Now, tell me in the comments, what's the biggest lesson life has taught you? I want to hear it. And of course, if this spoke to you in any way, I want you to like, share, subscribe. You know the drill now. But most importantly, go out there and live intentionally.